a trial lawyer many years. He's been very successful for his clients on many occasions in many states and many trials. But this year, it's my honor and a true pleasure to give him this plaque, the Charlie O'Reilly Memorial Award, Trial Lawyer of the Year 2018.
My young boy, Corbin, could you stand up? He used to go to law school with me as a little baby. And they'd let me take him to class because he wouldn't make any noise. I'd give him his bottle, and he went to law school with me all the time. I'm glad you're here. I'm so proud of you. He said, Dad, are you nervous? I said, I'm nervous. He said, Dad, just let the words come to you. You know how to do it. I want you all to do something. I want you to do something with me for a minute. Shut your eyes. Close your eyes. I want you to think of where you are in this world and who it is that you appreciate most. It could be one person. It could be a couple people. Imagine what they look like. Imagine what they smell like. The smell of that person close to you. Open your eyes. For me, that's Courtney Rowley. We all go through times in our life where we get a little lost, or at least I did. And you don't know if you're ever going to find your way out. I did. And the family that I have now, it's so beautiful. If you ever get a chance to spend time with us and our kids, it's really great. We do everything together. We try cases together. We travel together. We laugh together. Sometimes we fight about stupid things, and it's still great. I love you so much. I wouldn't be here without you. In here, there were so many people to talk about, so many names to list. There's someone named Wendy Saxon here who isn't in the book. And Wendy's a jury consultant that switched from the defense side, and she's been doing trial after trial with us. And she's amazing. I want to thank her. She's here. But there is a list in this book that goes through, and it says, expressing my love and gratitude for those who have helped, mentored, loved, and supported me. And it says, last but not least, my children and big, beautiful family. You all give me purpose in this world. And I have family here. I have Mike, Judy, Lee. I have so many people that are here. But what I want to do for a moment is have you do something else with me. And I never write notes or anything, but I want to do a good job. Close your eyes again. Close your eyes again. And whether you are a judge, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're someone here to support a trial lawyer, think of that human being. Think of that human being whose life needs you, or whose life that you've changed, doing this great work that we do. Imagine Imagine who that person is. For me, it's a little girl named Sophia Blunt, a case that my partner Robert Ungen and I tried years ago up in San Luis Obispo, and Phil Michaels gave us the case, Shirley Watkins gave us the case and said, would you all go up to San Luis Obispo and try this case? They said no one's ever won a med mal case up there. And we went up and they offered nothing, and we won the case. We won the case. It was a really, really fantastic verdict. And we changed this little girl's life. We get pictures of her, we see her, we follow her on Instagram. But there's one thing, and it's something I want to talk about, because if we're going to talk about the things that we've done or the things that matter, what can we do better? What can we do better? What can we do that's going to make a big difference? And if we go back in time to 1975, 2 years before I was born, there was a law that was passed. Sophia Blunt will never walk, she will never talk, she will never feed herself, she will never take a bath by herself. She has quadriplegia and cerebral palsy because the hospitals and the doctors didn't take care of her. And there are phenomenal physicians out there. And then there are some that aren't so great or that make mistakes. And this little girl's life was devastated, and it will always be devastated. But because of this law that was passed in 1975 called MICRA, there was a $250,000 cap on her non-economic damages. That means that this little girl who's going to spend 30 years of life never being able to walk or talk or eat or have a relationship or have children. Under the law here in California that was passed in 1975, all she is entitled to for her pain, suffering, loss of enjoyment of life is $250,000. That's it. And when you take costs and attorney's fees and all that, that means her case soaking wet. What the justice she gets is like $130,000. It's something that we have to do now. We've got a governor, we've got other states out there that aren't anywhere near as good of a state as we are when it comes to getting things done and getting laws changed and protecting people and standing up for human rights. We have to change MICRA. Okay? It's got to go. It's got to go. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to get it back on the ballot as a proposition. We're working on it. This is important. If you don't do med mal, you don't have to. If you're a physician, if you're a doctor, if you're a surgeon, this ought to be important to you too, because the insurance companies aren't going to increase your rates. They can as a matter of law. We need doctors on our side. We need to be brutally honest with the public and say, this is what was passed back in 1975, and this is what's happening to thousands and thousands and 10,000s and hundreds of thousands of people who are being seriously, seriously injured, and because of this cap, they're not getting justice. Imagine what would happen, and David D. Robertus has this, and if you ever get his emails, imagine what would happen if David's fighting Goliath and they took away David's sling. Imagine. That's what this law does. We have to change it, and working together we can. So we're going to get it on the ballot. It's not going to have anything sneaky in there saying we got to drug test, medical providers or something. It's going to be straightforward. And we need to talk to our governor, and we need to all show up. If we can get 1,000 of us in the room, then we can get 1,000 of us up on Capitol Hill and say this is something that needs to be changed. Okay? That's what I want to do. Is if I have some work to do over the next year, having this honor, give more than you take, no matter what it is that you're doing. And Arash, why'd you have to kind of talk about giving? because that was I wrote it down. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning, and I'm going to talk about giving. Sir, give more than you take. Work hard. Work hard and give more than you take. What that means, and this organization started back in 1948, a few years after World War II. And there were just a handful of lawyers that got together and said, there's some big companies and things, and people's rights are being trampled on. Let's get together and do something. And that's how this organization was formed. And it ended up there were 50 people that then came together and created this organization in 1948. And it grew and it grew and it grew because the organization gave more than it took. And now it's this great organization that it is today. And it's a great honor to be here with you. Great honor. Giving more than you take, whatever that is. If that's in the courtroom, and your opponent is working hard, to beat you, give more than you take. If they're being kind, give more than you take. If they're hitting you below the belt, don't hit below the belt back. Don't do it. Follow the rules, but give more than you take. If you do that with everything in life, you're going to succeed. You're going to succeed. So, I looked back it's 1972 when this award first was given. It was given to Herb Half. Anyone remember Herb Half? He's a bad faith lawyer. He's actually one of the first lawyers that I met in California because I went to his house during law school for a Gray Davis campaign. And I looked at this list because I'd been a finalist multiple times for this, and I was like, man, I guess I'm not going to get it. And when I looked at the list preparing for this speech, and I looked at all these names of these great, phenomenal lawyers that I've known, that have had an impact on my life, and then I looked at all the different members of this organization, and it really humbled me. Really humbled me. Humbles me now to know that you all would think that I'm worthy of being on that list, of getting this award from this great organization made up by great people. It honors my family. It honors my law firm, my great partners. John, Robert, Steve, all of my partners. Paul Zuckerman, who's my best friend. You honor all of us. You honor Gary and Nava Dordick. When I came back out here to California, I'd gone through a tough patch in my life. I couldn't afford to live out here. You know what they did? Gary and I did a case together, and they said, hey, move into our house. We'll buy the bigger, nicer one next door. But move into our house in Topanga. They gave us an opportunity to live here and practice here. My partners gave me an opportunity to live here and practice here, and you all gave me this opportunity. I'm blown away. I'm humbled, and I feel loved. Thank you so much. One more thing. For those of us who served in the military, sometimes you're getting orders and you're being sent to do things that you don't understand, and you're getting knocked down, and it's scary as hell. It's scary as hell. But when you get knocked down, there's someone there. There's always someone there. Hatham, there's always someone there who picks you back up again, who gives you the courage to keep charging up that hill. Garo, you've done that for me. So many of you have done that here for me. The closest thing I could get to to being back in the military, which I miss because of the camaraderie and the bravery and the courage that you get from the others around you, is being part of something like this. So whenever you're afraid, you look at each other, find courage, because together we can do anything. Thank you.